What's up, everybody? It's KR086, and I was woken up around like 4:30. I'm recording this at like 6:53. Do a tornado warning. Second one in 2 months. In good old Fayette County, Georgia. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we're in the world. Anyways, so what's up, everybody? How you guys doing today? So this video is brought to you uh due to the fact that yeah, stumbled upon this one guy's YouTube channel, Draven Bane, on his video, or he was it was like a clip from his stream of Final Fantasy 13 episode 27 on his actual YouTube page. He has like 71 subscribers, well 72 subscribers now. Thanks to me watching this video. I just stumbled upon this video randomly. And he is basically saying what I've been feeling for the past few years when it comes to um, how people are kind of reviewing video games currently. Not all people, but a lot of, I would say, bad faith reviewers, in my opinion. The people who like to talk about something being woke, the anti woke video game people, or anti woke movie people, for that matter. Um, the ones who like to say that the reason why that a game or a movie or TV show is going to fail is because of the fact that it's too woke. And I I hate that. I hate it so much. I think that's like the most low value fruit of why something might suck or why something might be good or not. I think it's like the worst thing you could possibly. I think it's the worst way of you trying to say that something is bad or not worthy of watching. All that stuff. I think most of the people who do that just so that they can kind of steer their audience into um games that they like so that they can get more and more viewing. But it seems to be like this whole huge like it's like the worst thing that could possibly happen when it comes to video games, or movies or TV shows. Like nobody goes to see these movies or TV shows or buy these games just because of the fact that they got somebody on YouTube that they respect their opinion, or they take their opinion as fact and then turn it into like um a reason as to why they shouldn't buy this game or watch this movie, realizing later on that they missed out on a great movie or great video game, all because they listened to some dumbass on the internet. Now, granted, there are a lot of people saying things. One thing I've realized recently is uh, one of the guys I've recently started following as of like, I believe September or October of 2024. TTBN Gaming. Um, he's currently doing. He recently did a video about Smash JT. Somebody I've wanted to do a video on for a good minute, and I'm still writing, um, coming up with ideas on how to do that the best way. But TTBN Gaming definitely does a great job of doing that, in my honest opinion. So definitely check out his channel, and check out his video on the Smash JT thing. But I'm just gonna give you like a little overview of what I mean by Smash JT. Um, and I'm not trying to make this into a whole Smash JT video. Let me just remind you that. But me personally, I um I fell into the trap of Smash JT thanks to the whole thing surrounding the completionist. Um, I was a big fan of the completionist, and once uh, Mudahar of Some Ordinary Gamers and Carl Jokes did their videos on uh, the completionists, uh, the charity that the completionist was doing and the charity fraud that was going on in regards to that. I started having my issues against the completionist, and especially when the completionist came out with his response video to the initial videos that Mudahar and Carl Jobst came out with. I thought that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me, and I'm pretty sure there's videos of me bringing that up in the past. However, one thing that I when I was doing all this video deep dives of the completionist stuff, I happened to find Smash AT, and he was kind of jumping on the bandwagon of how the completionist is terrible and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, well, he seems like a reputable person. So I checked out more of his videos. I subscribed to his channel. I started doing this whole little thing of going like, yeah, I can see his point and all that stuff about this, that, and the third. And then it got to, I believe, September or October, when all of a sudden I noticed one particular thing. One, he had made so many videos throughout 2024 about Alyssa McCarthy, um, which I thought was crazy. I didn't even know who this person was. I know that like Kotaku and some video game media has been a little um, too high strung on the whole inclusion on the DEI thing. Okay, and that's not me saying that I'm against DEI, but they were going too far. I would say they would go too far on certain things. Like remember when Hogwarts Legacy came out, and there was so many people having issues um, with oh goodness, J.K. Rowling, and they took their issues with the author of the Harry Potter series and put it on this game called Hogwarts Legacy that a lot of people who are fans of Harry Potter growing up were looking forward to playing. Okay, and I included wasn't. I was very happy to play this game. I have it on my PC. I still haven't finished it, but I need to. I intend to. But the point of the matter is, so many people got upset with that, and I was like, just because somebody's playing a video game does not mean that they are transphobic and all that stuff. And I feel like there was a lot of issues with that, and that's one thing I keep having an issue with is like people being adding too much politics into just people playing video games. It's a video game, for goodness sake. That it's supposed to like if you're a fan of those types of video games, you're supposed to play. You end up buying these games, playing them, and kind of having this. Best way I could put it is you kind of de-stress it. Fine. You get yourself out of your current world, current reality, and you just do that. And some games do have like a little bit of a talking point, a message on reality and all that stuff, real life and everything. But other than that, it's supposed to be a joyous occasional time for you to play. But anyways, regardless, so Smash JT. So he started talking about Alyssa McCarthy in a lot of his different videos. And I noticed that and one thing I started noticing, and this is mainly where it hit me, was when the trailer for Ghost of Yote came out. Now a lot of people keep bringing up this Ghost of Yote situation. Um, there was a lot of that's where I started having my real issues with Smash AT. Everything else I could kind of agree with him on, like with Black Myth Wukong coming out. Um, there were certain there was a certain group that was trying to uh make it seem like the production staff of Black Myth Wukong were horrible people and all that stuff. And Smash AT actually looked up uh, Chinese a Chinese YouTuber. I forget her name for the life of me right now. Do forgive me for that. But I do forget her name at this point, but I did start following her as well because of his video on the Black Myth Wukong stuff. And she actually brings up good points. And I agree with her points. However, um, back to the Ghost of Yote situation, here it comes, Smash AT. We all saw the trailer. I thought it was good. I thought I was looking forward to it. I'm still looking forward to the game to this day. But then Smash AT started really going hands on about the fact that, oh yeah, well, that's not what the people want. The people really want, and he does his hand size. He does this whole little. The people really want is this and that and all that stuff. People don't want a female protagonist and all that stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not the case. Like, I have no problem with the female protagonist, for instance. Never had a problem with the female protagonist. I mean, for goodness sake, I've played Tomb Raider. I remember playing the PS1 Tomb Raider 2 game. I remember having it as a demo of the demo disc that came with my PlayStation, my first PlayStation. And I played through that demo a whole bunch. And then we finally got to play the full game thanks to a friend of my dad's who let us borrow that game. And I remember me, my dad, my sister were playing through that game like crazy, and we weren't thinking anything of it. We weren't thinking of the fact that, oh, it's a female character and all that. We're just thinking about the story and the gameplay. That's it. Um, Final Fantasy had um, Terra, if I remember correctly, Terra from Final Fantasy VI, who most people would say is the main character of Final Fantasy VI, even though there's multiple different main characters in Final Fantasy VI. Um, Lightning. Um, I know a lot of people give Lightning some issues because it was like around like 2000 and all that stuff. Mostly, more people were upset with Final Fantasy 13 over the linearity of the game. Basically being halls and all that stuff all the way until chapter 13, if I remember correctly, where you get into the open world of the game, Grand Pulse. But nobody had a real issue with Lightning the character. Um, and there are plenty of other female protagonists in video games that nobody had an issue with playing as. I mean, for goodness sake, Final Crisis, anybody? Um, Parasite Eve, anyone? So, for anybody to constantly bring up like female protagonists being a bad thing is just ridiculous, in my opinion. Now, that's one thing when you put too much effort into like adding some DEI stuff or quote unquote woke stuff in it, like that game Dustborn. That was a little too heavy on it, and everybody clowned it for the trash that it is. But Ghost of Yote looks incredible. It looks like it's going to be a game of the year contender when it comes out. It looks like it has the same tight um tight gameplay as uh Ghost of Tsushima, which I loved, by the way. And the the graphics look amazing. The world looks amazing. Just everything about it seemed amazing, and I'm very interested in how the story is going to go for that particular game. Um, Same thing with Assassin's Creed Shadows. I had no issue with them putting Sasuke in it or Yasuke. I forget his name for the life of me, but Yasuke um, as a one of the two characters in the game. cool. I mean, yeah, some people are gonna get upset about the fact that there's a black guy in Japan, but we've been hearing stories about that particular thing happening in feudal Japan for years, and now people are starting to bring up this whole, oh yeah, they're lying about that and all that stuff. I'm so confused. It's just a video game, for God's sake. It's like, oh, like, did we play as actual characters, actual like actual living, breathing characters in the original um, Assassin's Creed games? Was Desmond Miles' ancestors actually real life people like Ezio, or well, I forget the first one's name. Good gracious. But Ezio or Connor or any of them, were they real people in the past? I don't think so. And if they were, I mean, they completely changed their character. They completely changed who they were to fit the story. It's called, what is it called? Like creative difference. I don't know. Not creative differences, but it's like it's changing something just to make it seem like. I mean, for goodness sake, we had Abraham Lincoln pop up at the end of Time Splitters 2 or 3. I can't remember which one it was. So Abraham Lincoln and George Washington in battle gear, looking all buff and all that stuff. Anywho, regardless, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. So Smash AT did this, that he got upset with the whole Ghost of Yote. Then there was certain other things that I thought were like, you were taking it to the extreme. Like he was going in on the fact that the voice actress for the main character of Ghost of Yote is an activist, and from what I've gathered, from what I looked up on, in regards to her, she's not that much of an activist. Yeah, she does believe in the rights and trans rights and all that stuff. She does use all pronouns, cool, but at the same time, it's not like she's stuffing it down somebody's throat about it. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on when it comes to Smash JT that I could get into it for a good long period of time, and I did kind of go on a rant about it. But at the same time, I'm gonna make a full video on this whole little thing. But either way, I've noticed the little grift, and with all this other all these other um creators who are on the woke grift, kind of getting called out by a lot of other different creators. It's it's necessary because at the same time, it's like, why are we doing this? Like, I understand. I have to pay attention to the fact that my skin color happens to be black. Okay, I happen to be an African American. Um, Something I wasn't really paying that close attention to, up until 2020, I guess. 2020, when COVID hit and everybody started going all balls to the wall and everything. That's when I had to start focusing it. I am 38 years old right now. I'm going to be 39 in May. For most of my life, I've had friends of all different types of races, all different races. Um, Back when I was in middle school and my first year of high school, I had plenty of Indian friends. Um, and I remember around 9/11, after 9/11, I was worried about my Indian friend, Harsh. I was worried about him because of all the stuff that was going on. Like people were starting to, because of who actually flew those planes uh into the Twin Towers and who people started blaming. I was more worried for my friend because I knew he wasn't that type of person. He was a cool, calm, he was a nerd like myself, and he was a decent person. So I was a little bit up. I was a lot worried about him. And then when 2020 happened and everybody was looking for somebody to blame about COVID stuff, people start getting more divided, especially in America. And we still have a divided America to this day, which sucks. And I really wish we wouldn't have that thing. I still have good friends on all sides in all races. And same time, I still don't believe that every single person who I still don't have issue with every single person. Uh, I focus on you know your character, you personally, your character, and all that stuff, and that's how I always feel like it should be. Like I'm not gonna automatically assume that every trans person or every gay person is a PDF file, because I know a lot of trans and gay people who aren't PDF files, and they are my close friends. So I'm never gonna get on people's ass about that. Um, and I know there's not. I know not everybody is the same. Like I know there are some people who seem like they're the best of brightest, but at the same time they are sick individuals. They keep coming out. I mean, shoot, there's one guy that I know personally who just can't, who has been talking to a young teenager, and I believe everything that this person said about some person said about him on Facebook because it's easy to believe it because of how he has been in the past. And yes, I could sit here and look at them and try to believe that they can be better people later on. But when you keep doing the exact same thing, you keep giving people chances over and over again, eventually you're just gonna have to admit that, hey, look, once it's gone over too many times, hey, guess what? They're probably that way. So that was a little stab at one particular person. Okay, sorry, but at the end of the day, let's stop talking. I've lost it. Well, I need to keep this thing on the balls, but this is just a rant. Look, at the end of the day, when it comes to video games, when it comes to media in general, media that's supposed to be consumed to be enjoyed, like TV shows, movies, video games, what we need to do is take politics out of it. Yeah, some video games will have the occasional meta type situation going on, but in some movies and some TV shows are gonna have some meta uh, commentary on the state of the world and all that stuff. That's what movies, video games, and TV shows have done for years and years and years. Um, remember back in the day when the occasional family sitcom had the special episode, that very seriously special episode, where they talk about very um, important topics, such as um, unaliving, um, self unaliving, um, grape, and all that other stuff. Things are gonna always have that a little bit every once in a while, but at the end of the day, we need to take politics out of our reviews of these games, out of our reviews of these movies, out of reviews of these TV shows, because I feel like that's not really helping describe a movie or a TV show. That's the reason why I for instance, I still have to go see uh the new Captain America, Brave New World movie, with Anthony Mackie's oh goodness, I forgot it. With Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson now taking on the role of Captain America. I want to watch that movie, but I've seen some reviews so far, and the only reviews I've seen so far are ones that actually give some actual review. For instance, uh, 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 Penguin Zero, Charlie. He did a review of it and he said it wasn't one of the worst Marvel movies. It was for him. I saw the Birdman and he actually gave his full uh description on how he felt about the movie and he thinks it was good. I like seeing all these different things where somebody doesn't say just, oh yeah, the movie's woke. The fact that there's a black Captain America, the fact that there's a this, that, third, whatever. It's, I like the fact that they go, hey, look, the pacing a little bit off, or at least they're bringing up this, or at least they're bringing up that, or blah 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 blah. I like that bit more than I like, hey, so this woke garbage. They have the DEI thing. If you there at one point when I was watching different YouTube videos, when certain things would come, when certain buzzwords would come up, I would immediately just say, okay, whatever they're saying is no longer of sentimental value to me. Anytime I've heard, for instance, on the left side, anytime I've heard, um, oh, what was it? Not minority, but what was the word I'm looking for? Hold on. There we go. Marginalized. Whenever I heard the word marginalized, in reference to communities or all that stuff, I would immediately I would immediately say that everything else that comes after that is null and void because of the fact that I can't stand. I felt like people were using that term way too much in the wrong context. Marginalized. What does that even mean? Or did it lose its meaning? And nowadays, whenever somebody brings up the words woke or DEI, I immediately think that everything else they're about to say, or in everything that is said beforehand, a little bit beforehand, is completely null and void because it's not worth it. I feel like they've overused the term so much that it's lost its meaning now. So, oh goodness, I wasn't trying to rant, but this is a rant. This is definitely a rant video, and look, we gotta take that this 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 left or right talking points. We need to take that out of the gaming sphere and media in general because I feel like the real reason as to why a lot of good projects go down is because of the fact that people aren't really being like very they aren't being very like logical about these things. And shoot, I'm pretty sure some people have seen. If you've seen Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and then you saw Matt Walsh's review of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I'm pretty sure everybody just looks at him like, "Are you fucking for real?" Because that movie was great. Okay, that movie was amazing. Because the reason and the real reason as to why Sonic 3 is so beloved, why the Sonic the Hedgehog movies are so beloved, is because they're good video game based movies. Okay, they're good video game based movies. We don't have many of those to say happy and be happy about. Like the first Mortal Kombat movie was a great video game based movie. The Super Mario Brothers movie, not the old one in the '90s, but the newer one, was a good it was a good video game movie. Angelina Jolie in the first Tomb Raider movie was a good video game based movie. We don't have that many to like be proud of. Okay, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is the video game based movie that we enjoy from Final Fantasy, but yet Final Fantasy like Spirits Within was. I thought it was artistically it was great, but given that it was based off a video game and they decided to have its own little world and all that stuff, it was bad. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was great artistically. And overall, if you separate it from Final Fantasy, it's great. If you just leave it as its own movie, it's a great movie. It was done well. The CGI was great. Uh, Giving the time frame of when it came out, I mean, for goodness sake, that thing still holds up to this day, in my honest opinion. But overall, as a Final Fantasy movie, nah, it was yeah. You know what I mean? But other than that, we have video game movies that are actually worth going to see in a theater, worth owning and watching. Because every other time they tried to make video game based movies, they suck. I mean, Mortal Kombat Annihilation is a clear cut example of a video game movie that the sequel to a video game movie that failed miserably because they did too much. Um, let's see, Tekken. I just need one good fighting game movie to come out. Like, somebody who actually understands the nuances of Tekken. I wish they would come out with that Tekken movie. Okay, like if Jin is like, and make sure that the characters are of the nation. Like, if we could make a Tekken game that has the characters of the nations they are, and then you have them speak their native languages, that would be perfect because it would fit Tekken. Okay, like have Jin, like if you have Kazuya, he's talking Japanese throughout the entire movie, and you just see captions while Paul, Paul Phoenix will sit there and talk to him like he's normal, like in English, and he can understand the Japanese, and they both understand each other. I want to see that. Okay, if you're gonna make a Tekken movie, okay, not that Tekken movie, not those Tekken movies that came out a while back. Okay, whew. Like, if you're gonna have Jin in there and supposedly June got killed off, oh, you gotta have True Ogre in that shit. Okay, just saying. Yeah, this is a rant. This is a rant video. I can't. I can do. I can do 8-minute videos eventually, but yeah, if you got through this, uh, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Yeah. Hopefully, in the next 3 weeks, I'll be out. I'll have a whole new setup and everything because I'll be in my old house. Um, and we'll start doing some more videos. But till then, I'll see you guys later. I'm not gonna edit this one too. Peace out.